he has collected many of the teachers.
From IAS also.
From IAS also he has collected, and he has pulled all the university retired emeritus professors, and many of them the scholars have seen the titles also. So these titles looks like all is related to life science. So I thank once again the Amritesh. I don't want to take much of your time. My time is restricted for 11:15. So I thank the Amritesh for giving me an opportunity to interact with you as a teacher, as a scientist, as an administrator. I have a lot of experience in my career. I also served as a Vice-Chancellor. I know the administration, what the administration will work for the academic. Teachers, a Greek teacher will say, you give me a child of 17 years. After my training, even God cannot change the student. Teacher is confident. That is called the teachers. After training a student, even God cannot change. That shows the confidence of a teacher to train the student. Even devil cannot change. A Greek teacher says, this was quoted by our the past President Abdul Kalam ji. So that's what we are having a great responsibility for the students is concerned. Our commitment, our mindset, our effort in training a student for this nation is great responsibility. So many of the teachers have covered the many topics. I have seen that surround the science. But I selected the topic, though I am a biotechnologist, I selected the IPR, a small change there, that is the related issues, not the biosafety issues. In IPR, biosafety will not come. Probably Professor Shekhar Shetty has covered in his lecture, advances in biotechnology. When GMOs came, I think he has covered some of the biosafety issues. But here the IPR and related issues. This IPR is very important for each teacher who is working in the, especially in the life science and also the engineering. And this topic looks like a simple, but everybody has to work the framework of IPR. Then only your research will come out as a fruitful research, a legal research. Whatever I'm going to speak, another 40-50 minutes is coming under the law. We cannot change. Science cannot be managed. Science has to manage with the legality. There is a legal repercussions are there in the science. So that I'm going to speak on the intellectual property right. Everybody is listening. What is this intellectual property right? Sometimes you may be knowing small things. Sometimes we are very detailed. Sometimes we may not be knowing that what is that really intellectual property right. Today, all over the world, looking for the intellectual property right is an important component in science. Many people are not able to bring their technologies or their ideas or their inventions into market. If your science is not transferring in a way of a product, it is of no use of your science doing in the laboratory. It will restrict to laboratory. You have to develop as a product. After developing a product, what is the role of a scientist to bring it out as a product to the market? What are the constraints are there? What are the rules are there? What are the regulations are there made by international? What is the role of India in international market? You are seeing that all the products taking from your all products is available in the market is completely coming under intellectual property rights. Even plant breeders' right, a breeder variety is also coming under the intellectual property right. So in that way, so I would like to, I'm very happy with this topic because we have done a lot of science. We have done a lot of science. Then this is the time, the need of the hour to make it as a product and give it to a farmer or a society. Society is looking for all the scientists who are working in the area and all because we are spending a money on the science and research, we are accountable for the society. We are accountable for the society. They are looking for what type of science these people are doing. Publication, 1,000 publication, 2,000 publication, it is of no use. What kind of product you are delivering to the society, that is the public money. Publics are looking towards the scientists. So that's what we are accountable. I will start my lecture, another 40-50 minutes. Some of the things I will go in detail because it is a legislative things. I cannot run away from the a theory what we should know. We should know very correctly of the intellectual property right. Intellectual property right is a group of legal rights. Is a group of legal rights that provides the protection over things people create or invent. Whatever the people create and invent, that is going to be as a legal right. So that is the importance of the intellectual property right. Intellectual property right is the one it is giving to the a creator and the inventor. Hello, we are ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಹೀಗೇನೆ. ನಾವು ಏನೋ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೊರಟ್ರೆ ಅದು ಇನ್ನೇನೋ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ. ಅವ್ರು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಹೋದ್ರು ಅದು ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. ರೈಟ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್. So what is intellectual property right? Intellectual property right is the term that describes ideas, invention, technologies, intangible for net artwork, music, literature that are intangible when created but become the valuable product. I told that these are all coming under. Your idea is going to become an intellectual property. That's what idea should not be disclosed. Whatever idea is come to your mind, that should be developed as a technology. Is coming under the IPR. Inventions, whatever invention you are going to do with your research, that is coming under the IPR. Technologies, whatever technology you are going to, today is the technology is very important. Technologies are gaining a more importance. All the technology, your Skoda car, your or Mercedes Benz, or your radio, or your music, all technologies in artwork. Artwork is also a intellectual property. Music, music is a multi-million-dollar question today. You know that music, how much the money they are going to make towards the music and the literature. World intellectual property, a forms and patent. See, it is coming under, these are all technologies are coming under the forms of IP. That is called the patent. First is the patents. Second is a trademark. Third is the copyrights and other evolving forms. These patents, trademark, copyrights is the very important of an inventor and a creator. So that is coming under the intellectual property right. So how this IPR going to be protected? This IPR is protected as the confidentially or non-disclosure agreement. That is called the trade secret. What is trade secret? It is a non-disclosure. And they make an agreement with the inventor is the ideas and research, collaborative research agreement. So one company to another company, one country to another country, one continent to another continent. So today, the Brezza Maruti car has given to the Toyota. What is that research invention they are making the collaboration? That is only the property between the two car owners. It is not the property of anybody else. So technologies, utility, models, and the patents. And product development is the technology licensing agreement and branding. These are all the protection of a intellectual property right. So what are intellectual property rights? Intellectual property rights are likely any other property right. It is like your any other property. You are holding a house or a land, it is your property. Like your invention, your creation is the property of right. And they allow the creator, the owners of patents, trademark, or copyrighted work to benefit their own work and investment in a creation. These rights are outlined in the Article 27 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So these are all the coming under legislation. All these intellectual property is outlined in the Article 27 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It is coming under human right. That human rights provides for the right of benefit from the protection of moral and material interest and resulting enhance the quality and enjoyment of the life. It will give this type of, what is the benefit of this IPR? IPR is give this purse of economic growth. We are talking on economy. How your science is going to affect on the economic growth. We are looking for, my dear teachers, whatever you have spent for your laboratory and research is to be calculated on cost benefit ratio. You cannot do your science and throw it on the dustbin. You cannot go home. And it will reflect on the economic growth. How many technologies are contributing for the economic growth of your country? And out of this intellectual property right, they create new jobs. A new job will be created, your IT companies, your BT companies, all these companies are coming only on the intellectual property right. The people are going to make their own industry, own company, own BT companies, So it will create a new job and industries especially. These industries, what is their importance in industries? Why they are making their own industry? They have their property. They have their IP patent. Based on that, they are going to start industry. Industry cannot be started so easily. Just you take a simple technology, a gas production. A biogas production is a technology. So that will give the biogas industry. So like that, this enhance the quality and enjoyment of the life. So this intellectual property is involved in these aspects, and you can enjoy your life by creating all these things. These are all the benefits. Intellectual property right, reward creativity and human endeavor, which builds the progress of humankind. Man is happy because reward is given. Today in this country, rewards are very less. That's what people are neglected the technologies. Once, if you go to Europe, a man finding a one design for your spoon, he will be respected, he will be rewarded. One spoon, designing a spoon. Designing spoon is also an art. That designing spoon will be rewarded by the other countries. In India, we are seeing less rewards like that. That's what people are neglected to develop the technology, and it will definitely help the humankind. And the multi-billion-dollar film, as I said, today you are seeing that a multi-million-dollar film, recording, publishing, and software industry. These are all industries which bring pleasure on the million of people worldwide would not exist without copyright protection. These are all copyright protections. Nobody can copy. Nobody can copy the multi-billion-dollar film and recording, publishing, and software industries. These are all the multi-million-dollar today they are making with the IPR benefit. This is the benefit. A film, you cannot. Copying a film from one language to another language, it's a multi-million-dollar business. Without these rewards provided by the patent system, researchers are producing better, more efficient products. Classally, then refresher classally. ನಾನು ಒಂದು ರಿಫ್ರೆಶರ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಮುಗಿಸಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋದುವರೆಗೆ. ಓಕೆ. So this is the benefit of IPR. Historical context. In England, the concept of intellectual property right is not new. It's not a new. The 1474, it was considered the first systemic IP law in Venetine law. And patents and IP laws are England in 1624, France in 1791, USA in 1788, Germany 1877, Japan 88, India is 1888. We have started the IP law. So there is a history. All the countries have concentrated on IP procedures. And this is an effort. The first major international effort on Paris Convention in 1883 for the protection of IP in other countries covered patents, trademark, and industrial design. Second major international effort, that is the Borne Convention in 1886 for the protection of copyright of literary artistic work, and other countries covered copyrights. Third major international effort, formation of the World Intellectual Property Organization, that is WIPO in 1967. That is, WIPO is the World Intellectual Property Organization, covers patents, copyrights, and trademarks. A fourth major international effort, trade-related aspects, intellectual property, right, or TRIPS, and WTO is coming under the types of IP. That is very important in the fourth major international effort, that is on the integrated circuit and the software and hardware. Today, my dear teachers, this integrated circuit and software and hardware has completely ruined the world. And another 2-3 decades, these circuits and softwares will rule us. Today, without computer knowledge, it is difficult to make a learning process or your education or the science. Today, all these integrated circuits and softwares are gained more importance, and it is coming under intellectual property law. And this, all the fourth conventions they made based on this, the patent, trademark, and all other aspects as given the protection. And this is the types of intellectual property right: patent, IPR is the one, and then patent, then copyright, then trademark, industrial design, and geographical indications. Exclusive right given to the person over the creation of their mind or certain periods of time. Legal right, intangible potential asset, monopoly, negative rights, it prevents others' use or creation for the define of other things. You cannot take the others' work in the intellectual property right. So patent, what is patent? Patent is an exclusive right granted for an invention, I told. Patent is also part of a trademark, part of the IPR. So patent is an exclusive right granted for an invention, or a product or a process that provides a new way of doing something, or that offer new technical solution to a problem. That's what we told you are all technology. What is the problem? For example, your corona. So whether you are giving the anti-drug now for the corona is a technical solution. They are found the problem that is going to be patented. That's what your remdesivir is become so expensive of your antibiotic. This is all coming under the intellectual property right. Each and every, whether it's a pharmaceutical or the industry, whatever it may be. And this patent provides a patent owner to protection for their invention. And it is granted limited period of generally 20 years. Whatever invention you made, whatever patent you got it, that will be given by the patent authority at 20 years is valuable. Patentability. What we can patent? Process can be patented. Machines, articles of manufacture, composition of matter must be useful, novel, and non-obvious. What is the right? Making use is a right. Offering for a sale, selling, importing without the owner's consent. Inventorship must be filed in the names of the true inventor. Idea to be make on the piece of paper. So these are all the steps of patent. And objectives of the patent is to encourage research and development. Main objective is to encourage the research and development. Otherwise, research is going to be diluted. Research will not going to be your invention. Research is going to be a very common procedure. It will give the objective patenting of objective is encourage the researcher and the development. To reward the inventor for the expenses that he goes through the make it product commercially available. This is the main objective, to reward the inventor. So you have to reward. If somebody is found some invention or he develop a technology, it has to be reward. And inventor has for the expenses that he goes through the make the product as commercially valuable. To induce an inventor to disclose this invention rather than to keep them secret. To induce the investment of capital in law lines of a production. This is the main objective of patenting. And general requirement for patents is it must be a practical use. That technology should be a practical use. It must be show an element of novelty. The invention must show an inventive step. And the patent applications can be filed in India by the true inventor, assignee, and legal representative of the inventor. You see this point. Point D, very clearly mentioning that the patent can be filed, the application. I will come later on what kind of application you have to file. Patent application can be filed in India by a true inventor. A true inventor means who has invented true. If it is 4 or 5, they have to file the application together. They cannot make a claim of their own technology development. Who is the true inventor that you have to tell? Then your application is not going to be considered. Who is the true inventor? And assignee, you can assign to somebody to file the application. And you have to declare, I am assigning this work to somebody. Assignee can be filed the application. And legal representative, you can take your legal representative to file the invention in the application form. So this contents, the patent content must be your specification. What is you are going to patent? Description. For repeatability by someone equally trained in the prior art, you have to see that is there any repeatability. What is the invention you are going to patent? Specification. Claim. What exactly you wanted to protect? What exactly you wanted to protect, that is a claim. That is coming under the patent content. And who are the inventors? A persons who are responsible for the invention and reduction to practice. Even in the cases of company patents, the inventors are named. The true inventor has to be named. Then the technology is going to be invented. In science, we can in our research, it will become, it looks a small thing because everybody is not trying a patent. Everybody is not going for a patent. I know that a number of researchers, they will do research and publish paper and get off. No, not like if you take the, I told that the film industry or your jewel industry or your vehicle industry or your pharmaceutical is not a job, is not a joke. It is a multi-million rupee business. That's what the inventors must be spelled out who is inventor. And date of award of patent, protection applies from the date of application for 20 years and patent number awarded by the controller, general of patents. So this is the procedure for patent contents you have to follow to file the patent. And steps to get a patent: invention disclosure statement, pre-examination to prior art, draft application. They will see the specification, claim and repeatability, application, computer application to Controller General of Patents, then review, Controller General examination, and clarification and objections will be seeked by the inventor, and they will award the patent. So this is the procedure to get the patent. How to get the patent is you have to pass through all these procedures, and then you will get the award of a patent. Award of patent. So this is the two patents I got it in my research. I got it one African patent and another one is the Indian patent. I have two more patents from Palestine and Iraq. So I have shown how the patent certificates are looks. Many of them we have not seen how the patent certificates are looks, how the patent will be awarded, how the technology is going to be screened. These are all the two patents I got it, one in Africa and one in, this is the Indian patent certificate, what I'm showing in the right side. You see the Government of India, there is an IP emblem there, and they will give the patent number and the invention, what you are patented and who are the inventors. They will give the names and they will give the a type of patent, what you are going, they will sign it and give it to you on the date of grant is 11/8/2006. I got the Indian patent. So that I took minimum of 3 years to patent my product, patent my process. So as mentioned that the Beauveria bassiana is the fungus is going to control the coffee borer, that we have developed the technology. That technology I patented in Indian patent and as well as the African patent. So this is the type of patent certificate you must get to start the industry. Like in all other fields also, they have to get the patent certificate. Patent office is going to award the patent certificate. You see this is the left side. This is an USA certificate. How the different countries are giving a different certificates. This is an USA certificate. This is the first patent of China. China was given the first patent certificate. And below, I'm just showing some of the examples how this different countries are providing a patent certificate. So below this right side is the Russian patent certificate. How this Russia is giving the patent certificate. These are all the, based on this, people are starting their industry and starting their multi-million business on the film industry or pharmaceutical industry or agriculture industry or your nanomedicine industry or your biomedicine industry. Everything will start based on this. You have to get this certificate by making the patent. And I will start 3-4 components, what I told: trademark and the copyright, and as well as a physical distribution. The trademark is a distinctive sign which is used to prevent a confusion. It is used to prevent a confusion among products in the marketplace. So there should not be any confusion. And the trademark is a type of intellectual property, and typically a name, word, parcel, logo, symbol, design, image, or the combination of these elements are called as the trademarks. So there should not be confusion in the marketplace. They will give their own symbol after getting the patent. So these are all the marks you can see. You are seeing all these are the approved trademarks. Nobody can copy nothing. You take your CNN even, CNN, BBC, Adidas, you are seeing all these in the market. This is all approved by the patent authority of the trademark. This is called as the trademarks. They will make it, even Nokia, or you can Google. So nobody can change. That is called the trademarks. They will give based on their approval of the patent. What is trade secret? We are talking that everybody is using a very common word. We cannot say that is a trade secret. That I cannot explain. What is the trade secret? Trade secret is an item of non-public information. Trade secret is not an item of non-public information concerning the commercial practice of the property, knowledge of a business. That's what they'll put as the trade secret. Trade secret cannot be disclosed to the public. So that is the property of the inventor. A trade secret, as defined as it is a generally known to the public, confers some sort of economic benefit on its holder. It is the subject of reasonable efforts to maintain the secrecy. And the company can protest their product confidentially, informed to the non-competent. These things are available in the trade secret. So Coca-Cola was the one. You see that Coca-Cola is the main of though they are having all cannot be coming under the, some of the things are coming under the trade and trade tariff and trade secrets. So this Coca-Cola is the one, they made it in the Uniform Trade Secret Act is coming under. And also another significant development in US law is Economic Espionage Act of in 1996. EEA was the secret federal and misappropriation of or theft. It makes a trade secret a federal crime. If somebody has snatched a secrecy, so it is the federal crime by the IPR. So next part is the industrial design. This industrial design refers to the ornamental or aesthetic aspect of the article. A design may consist of three-dimensional features such as shape, surface, and an article, or two-dimensional features such as patterns, lines, or color. Industrial designs are applied to a wide variety of industrial products and handcrafts. For example, is the watches, jewelry, luxury items, vehicles, architectural structures. You see that each and every vehicle, each and every jewelry, they made it in a different. You cannot see the same. You cannot see the same. That's what he is telling, that shape, structure, surface of the article, dimensional features, and the patterns, lines, and color. These are all coming under the industrial designs. These industrial designs are today the multi-million business today. So they are making all these watches, jewelries. See the example. You are seeing jewelry. So jewelry is very fond of. You cannot see one jewelry is another is same. So they will make such a design. Your cars, vehicles we are making. Any product you take that. Exclusive right against the unauthorized copying. And production normally lasts in the initial 10 years, after which it can be usually be renowned, but in most cases. So this is the industrial design. Copyright. This is very important for you people. If you are continuing your research, or you are publishing your papers, or you are going to develop your technology as a patent, you have to know that what is copyright. Everybody is, you are signing a paper for copyright. What is that copyright? Copyright is an intellectual property which gives the creator of an original work exclusive rights. See you underline this line, original work. You cannot copy it from there, somebody. Even you are taking a review. Review, of course, we are giving, but your experimental design, your creation, and it should be as coming under the intellectual property right. What original work you are going to, that is coming under the copyright protection for certain time period of relation to that of work, including its publication, especially in the publication. We are seeing plagiarism word came because of this. A copyright is not protected. This publication should not be copied by anybody. Methodology cannot be copied. Experiments cannot be copied. So this distribution and adaptation is a copyright. This was established in 1710 in Britain, and it established the other work as the owner of the right, a copy that work on the concept of fixed from that of copyright is a very important protection is given under the intellectual property right. The terms of copyright, the USA and Europe, they will give the minimum of 70 years. In India, we are giving up to 60 years. And other countries, they will give you the 50 years for your copyright protection. You can protect your copyright for many years and nobody can take it at your original work. And geographical indications, I thought that GIS identify agricultural, natural, and manufactured goods associated with the territory and the region, locality. And GI, this geographical indication gives a protection to the group of people or association involved in the production of the product using traditional skills and knowledge. The manufacturing goods, for example, you take the Darjeeling tea, Kanchipuram sari, Basmati rice, Alfonso mango, Nagpur orange, Kolhapuri chappal, Bikaneri puja, Agra pita. These are all the regional, our Mysore pak, if you take, or your Mysore masala dosa. I'm not taking any example. Nobody can prepare Mysore masala dosa in all over the country. You go and eat masala dosa in Delhi, it's a different, completely different taste. Your Mysore silk, Kanchivaram silk. These are all geographical indications. This is all coming under the geographical indications. And Indian geographical indications, our Basmati rice, our coffee tea. You can go to tea, you cannot, from Assam. And these are all the geographical indications are given for the examples of the many are there in our country like that. Today, a regionalization of your research should be concentrating on those aspects. And it will be going to be more useful. So Stopal commercially, for example, I am taking 2 slides for your agricultural impact. So we have developed some of the Pseudomonas, trichoderma as a biological control agent. So based on the research and the technology development, so number of a fungal based, bacterial based, the organisms are registered under the Insect Board of Registration Committee. This is our CIBRC. You have to go for registration. You cannot make it as a product in the market, what you are developed in your laboratory. That has to be submitted to the insecticide board and it has to be registered. Then only it is giving as a product. There is a procedure. And CIB, Central Insecticide Board also, they are made the 355 products of trichoderma. Like that Pseudomonas, trichoderma, different species I mentioned here. So number of registered your Pseudomonas, trichoderma, Gliacladium, Vivaria bassiana, whatever organism you are using to control the pest and diseases, insects and pests, diseases, that has to be registered in the Central Insecticide Board, then only it is going to become as a product. So patent holders in India, the list of top 10 patent holders in India companies, only pharmaceutical and biotech companies. See that we are concentrating in India especially. That's what your all Korean models are coming in India now. All your Japanese model, German model, they have a different patent. And we are having the major patent on pharmaceuticals, drugs. And we are having some biotech companies. In India, 184 patents are held by the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, followed by RANBEX. We have our own pharmaceutical. We are very strong in pharmaceuticals. We are strong in biotech companies, not in machineries, not in industrial designs, not in your jewel designs. While the top 10 patent holders across the world are IT companies. Top 10 patent holders across the world are IT companies. In India, no IT firm has patented. In India, there is no IT firm has patented so far. We are patented only on the pharmaceutical and the biotech companies. So non-patentable items, what we cannot patent, patent will not be granted under the following ideas. Something obviously contrary to well-accepted natural law. Well-accepted natural law substances cannot be patented. The primary use of the invention is contrary to law or morality of public health. That cannot be patented. Discovery of a new use of known process or article. Already known technology, already known article, discovered by somebody. And if you are going to submit application, that cannot be patented. Discovery of scientific principle and formulation of a abstract theory. I told that a scientific principles cannot be copied. Original invention is already recorded in the world intellectual property rights. So world is completely managing. Not only in India, your invention, if you are patented something, it is recorded in World Intellectual Property Cell. So that will give immediately, that system will give that this has been patented. There is a reputation. Automatically your application is going to be rejected. So that you have to be careful. Discovery of scientific principle, formulation, abstract theory cannot be patented. Substance obtained by a mere admixture. The admixture of the patents will not be patented. So that's what the combination. Admixture means combination. If you are going to mix, if you are working on disease management, you are going to mix on the trichoderma and Pseudomonas combination. Combination will not be accepted. Admixture will not be accepted unless there is a substance study or the molecule study. I think Sivananda Pai has given the lecture on the seen here, bioprospecting discovery of bioactive molecule from plants. See, bioactive molecule is a single molecule. That molecule should not be mixed with the other plant molecule or the other fungus molecule or other bacterial molecule. This is called as an admixture. Admixture cannot be patented. Arrangement and rearrangement of the known devices cannot be done. You cannot rearrange. And method of agriculture and horticulture methodologies cannot be patented. These are all the non-patentable things you cannot patent. And there is no point in exercising these things and your time is waste because patent will take years together. So before filing application, you must be very careful. So this is all non-patentable items. Agriculture technology is also coming under the IPR. All agriculture technologies. In 1970, the Patent Act was skillfully drafted to protect Indian drugs, pharmaceutical and chemical industry and Indian agriculture from foreign competition. So this para is really, we are very happy with this one. provision has made in 1970. IPR falls under the 49 of list 1 of the 7th schedule of Constitution. In India, the IPR falls under item 49 of list of 1 of 7th schedule of Constitution. And based on that 1970 Patent Act was skillfully drafted for Indian drugs. Today, my dear colleagues, drugs is the very important market today. You know that, how the drugs are dealing, how the drugs are selling, how the drugs are distributing. It is completely the drug mafia that we are looking for the protection of IPR. That's what the drug is coming under the intellectual property right. Pharmaceutical and chemical industry today. Chemical industry also, you see that how that chemical is going to be distributed. Agriculture technologies, and we have to escape from the foreign competition that we made the 1970 effort will help us in a very nice way. And what is this WTO? We are talking that I will come some of the organizations who are working for the IPR. So another 10 minutes I am going to see that what are the organizations is working for this intellectual property. As on now, what I spoke on the what is IPR and what we have a right and what we can now do. What are the organizations? World Trade Organization. This organization deals with the rules of trade between nation and global up near global level. This WTO, it deals with the nation to nation. You are all import-export businesses. WTO is a major organization to deal with the intellectual property right. It is an organization for a liberalizing trade, and it is a forum for governments to negotiate trade agreement and a place to settle down the trade disputes. So there is a lot of dispute in the trade, except in the technology. We are pouring a Kia car, we are in India now. What are the important measures as taken by the World Trade Organization that is going to settle through the World Trade Organization? This organization is currently working with its member on new trade negotiation called as the Doha Development Agenda. This is launched in 2001. This Doha Development Agenda was launched in 2001 for the dispute solving of World Trade Organization for the trade and secrets. And World Trade Organization without its location in Geneva, Switzerland. It was established in 1995. It was negotiated in 86 to 94 in Uruguay round of negotiation. 153 countries are still up to 23rd, 2008. 196 million Swiss francs per budget is, and Secretary Staff and the Director Head is Pascal Lomé, UN so far till date. This is the World Trade Organization. This completely deals with the world intellectual property trade. WTO is completely controlling the global world trade. Your export-import is coming under the World Trade Organization. Functions. What are the functions of WTO? Administering WTO trade agreements. They will administer the World Trade Agreements. Forum for trade negotiation. They have a forum for negotiation. Handling trade disputes. If any dispute from one country to another country, WTO has to handle the disputes. Monitoring national trade policies. National trade policies he has to follow. If you are a member of that organization, I told the country should become the member of WTO, then only they are eligible to make their export and import. If they are not become the member, any dispute or any negotiation will not coming under the WTO. Many countries are like that. You see, only 153 countries are registered so far. India, of course, we are registered. Like other Indian continent countries also registered. Not all the countries are registered there. They don't have that such kind of potentiality to make it in the international market. We have international market products. We are fine in pharmaceuticals. We are fine in PT companies. That's what we are competent to compete with any other country trade. That's what we are registered. So technical assistance and training for developing countries, these are all the main functions of WTO. The role of WTO. You must know what is the role of WTO. The main goal of WTO is to help the trading industry to become smooth, fair, free, and predictable. It was organized to become the administrator of multilateral trade and business agreement between its member nations. It supports all occurring negotiations for latest agreement for trade. WTO tries to resolve trade dispute between the member nations. Dispute will be resolved by the member nations who are become the member of WTO. This is multilateral agreements are always made between several countries in the past. Because of this, such agreements become very difficult to negotiate, but are so powerful and influential once all the practice agree and sign the multilateral agreement. WTO acts as an administrator. WTO acts as an administrator in between two countries. Multilateral agreements. If one product, if 10 countries are making agreement, then WTO has to see that how this multilateral agreement can be approved. This will take a lot of responsibility in approving the products. And this recent development intellectual property IP value is India has made progress in implementing its obligation under the WTO agreement on TRIPS. TRIPS means trade-related intellectual property right. Trade-related intellectual property right. Developing its own IP regime, which endeavors to the balance of trade between monopoly rights and free access to knowledge. Legislative changes. India has came in long way in protecting intellectual property through legislation. We have our own legislation now. Whatever product you wanted to push outside the country, you have to go for WTO. Otherwise, we have our own product development in the country that we are made it as intellectual property right through legislation. So this is TRIPS. What is TRIPS? Trade-related intellectual property right. This trade-related intellectual property right agreement, which forms a part of the Uruguay round of GATT, is to date the most comprehensive multilateral agreement on IPR. It became effective on January 1st, 1995. It gives the WTO agreement that lay out the standards. WTO agreement will lay out the standards for the protection of intellectual property right, as well as set procedures and remedies for their enforcement. Article 27.3b of the TRIPS. Even TRIPS also having some kind of legislative constitution. TRIPS is having an act like our Indian constitution. They are having a different article for the different commodities, different products, like your machineries, like industries, pharmaceuticals. This WTO is having a different laws and regulations as per like our constitution. So there is a one how this very tough job for any country to follow the WTO rule. Pending modifications of patent laws. If you are not approved, your patent is pending. As per the TRIPS provision, as per trade-related intellectual property provision, the developing countries are expected to provide for a mailbox protection. You should find what is the mailbox protection. Mailbox protection is the box which is given to the developing countries if you are not able to come to conclusion of your patent, if it is in the process, because I told us this process will remain for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. You may not patent. Technology is useful, but you are not able to bring it out to the market. In that case, WTO will give the mailbox for you. That mailbox you can store your technology until the success of your technology. So that will provide the mailbox. Under this provision, such a country will accept patent application for product related to pharmaceuticals and agricultural chemicals and keep them for consideration after the patent laws are suitably amended. So these countries are also required to guarantee an exclusive marketing rights for 5 years to each invention. For that, the TRIPS agreement has for reaching effects developing countries, practically for the marginal groups such as smallholder farmers especially. The farming, that's what IPR, a plant breeder's right is coming under that particular TRIPS agreement. So this agreement was highly sued in favor of developed countries. More than 95% of patents on biological patents are held in developing countries. And also there is a risk in securing a technology that has become in the African countries. So India and the TRIPS in 1997, this slide is very important for you, I will tell you. 1997, USA was compliant to WTO that India has failed to meet the basic commitments to TRIPS. United States was compliant. You see the computation. They are observing in such a way what kind of products we are developing, what is our import and export status. United States and other countries are very carefully observing that what India is making, and they are compliant against India, and also they are reported that they are failed to meet the basic commitments of TRIPS. India is not following the TRIPS rules. That's what USA, this dispute settlement body of WTO. I told that WTO is the dispute settlement body of WTO. Observe that India has failed to provide the mailbox system of protection to the concerned products. India has failed to maintain the mailbox system. And the WTO has warned the Indian government to establish a system for a grant of exclusive marketing right and such patents. India has been given a time till April 1999 to make the above provisions. India has consented to do the needful within this period, and India is required and patented laws as per the broad framework of TRIPS latest by 2004. India has completed what USA has complained against India, and India has completed all the procedures. Now we have a very protected mailbox to protect our technology and protect our trade secrets and protect our patents, and we are having our own mailbox, that is the India and between the trade related intellectual property right. So India has succeeded in maintaining the mailbox. So now this is a new patent act as expected from different Indian Patent Act in 1970, and this has been come now, allowed the fields of technology without exception. All the patents will be for a duration of 20 years, and we have our own patent now that you can find out that India is now well sustained with the patent technology. And World Intellectual Property, I told WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization. Our product has to be registered here. One of the 16 specialized agencies of the United Nations. WIPO was created in 1967 to encourage creative activity to promote the protection of an intellectual property throughout the world. WTO currently has 184 members, and director it is the Genoa, Switzerland, and office is there, and the organization is working for the World Intellectual Property right. WIPO is called as World Intellectual Property Organization. And WIPO is currently working on 3 primary building blocks. What are those important blocks are? The new world patent system is a uniform set of procedures. We must have a uniform set of procedures. WIPO is working on the setting up of uniform set of procedures, a single international search, and a uniform patent law. As on today, we are having a different kind of uniform patent law is not there. You have seen the patent certificates. Even certificates are not the same. We are having a different patent certificates. There is no uniformity. This WIPO is trying to bring in all the countries in the 3 building blocks of WIPO was formally created by the convention established the World Intellectual Property Organization, which is entered into force in April 26, 1970. I told that WIPO has become a specialized agency of the UN in 1974, as above mentioned. And there is a committee in the WIPO. The different committees are there. These different committees are working for the WIPO implementation, Standing Committee on Patents, that is SCP, the Standing Committee on Copyright and Related Rights, SCR, and Advisory Committee, and International Intergovernmental Committee, Access to Genetic Resources, Traditional and Valued and Folklore. We have a different committees for that approval of intellectual property right. And this is GATT. What is GATT? GATT, we are talking that a general agreement on tariff and trade. It's a very important organization. All the tariff is going to be fixed for the international products. A Skoda car price is going to be fixed by the TRIPS. Any imported material. A trade was an outcome of the failure of negotiating governments to create an international trade organization. This because WTO has taken the responsibility of a negotiating, and this GATT is failed in negotiating things. That's what it is called as, now later it is called as International Trade Organization. GATT was formed in 1947, before independence. GATT was formed in 1947 and lasted until 1994, when it was replaced by the World Trade Organization. Why it was replaced? I told that GATT is failed in negotiating tariff and trade through the governments. That's what is replaced by the World Trade. Now, only World Trade Organization is taking care of negotiating disputes and fixing price and tariffs and everything. WTO is doing. The general agreement in tariff and trade come into force in 1st January 1948. You see how long the patent laws were lined. It's not new. For us, it is new because we are not following. We are not adapting. We are not used to it. We are not used to it. Especially scientists and teachers, we are not bothered for that. Because we are not in such kind of practices. See, general agreement on tariff, price fixing. Suppose Europe, we go to one banana, whether you are gone to abroad or not, I don't know. One banana in Europe, your Pachbala, one banana is around 8 kroners. 1 kroner is 8 rupees. 8 kroner means 64 rupees one banana. 3 chili in Europe, one chili is a 20 kroner. 20 into 8. Only 3 green chilies. So that's what this general agreement and tariff was fixed. How the European government is selling one pachboy and around 64 Indian rupee. This tariff is fixed by the WTO. Namtara Sumne, if you are going to a market and purchasing a brinjal for 20 rupees or tomato for 1 rupee sometime, 1 rupee is 30 rupees sometime, 100 rupees sometime, nobody is thinking on that. You heard one rupee on the kg tomato. Sometimes the tomato will become 100 rupees, 5 rupees onion, sometimes onion become the 100 rupees. Why this fluctuation? Whether it is essential or not? If it is essential. Onion is very essential, tomato is very essential. Without onion, without tomato, we cannot cook food. Isn't it? Without onion, without tomato, you cannot cook food. Why government is not fixing the tariff for that? All these essential commodities has to bring under the Essential Commodity Act. Once if we brought into the Essential Commodity Act, then the tariff and trade will be fixed by the WTO. You are not exporting tomato. You are not exporting onion. You are exporting onion from Maharashtra. You are exporting onion from Tamil Nadu. So if you want to export onion to Europe, you will get the price, then WTO will fix the price. For that reason, the tariff is not fixed. That's what the General Agreement on Tariff and Trade come into force in 1st January 1948. Even in British ruling. Because British ruling was never moved without tariff and trade. That's what I trade business is very important business. And this Bretton Woods conference had introduced the idea. The Bretton Woods Conference had introduced the idea for an organization of regulate the trade as part of larger plan for economic recovery after the World War II. It has come into force after the World War. The commodities are become so important. For all the prices, you are going to fix the price for sugarcane. You are fixing the price for other cereal crops. Why you are not fixing the price of regular commodity like your tomato or brinjal or chili or onion? Why the market price is fluctuating like that? So this should come under the intellectual property right. One has to fix the trade and trade. Then only will get the fixed price. So include many special case of treatment of individual products with exception of modification for each country. GATT had a total of 8 rounds. These are all the rounds since from 1950 up to 1993. They are made the different the rounds and they are finalized the tariff and this is the big chapter. GATT fixing. This is the big business also. I cannot. It needs 1 hour to cover only tariff and trade. How a tariff and trade is dealing in the world for every commodity. So it was made the different kind of rounds to finalize the. This is the plant breeder right. You know that any plant breeding scientist, you must know what is the right he has given to a plant breeder. A breeder is monopolized the variety. So that plant breeder right is also known as a patent variety right. It's a PVR or intellectual property right granted to the breeder of a new variety or a plant. That's what today the breeder scientists are purchased by the seed companies. If you are developing a one variety or one plant, they will purchase you. That is the variety they are going to sell in the market. Every time, why, you know, you go 2 decades back or 3 decades back, how many number of paddy varieties were there? Today, what is the number of paddy varieties? 130. 20 years back, you can see only hardly 35 varieties. Because to get the resistance, to get the disease resistance, insect resistance plant, a breeders have developed a number of varieties. Number of varieties are increased in all kind of crops. That is the diversification, what we are seeing in the market today. Even cereals are completely hybridized, or your vegetables are completely hybridized. Your fruits are completely, because this is become the property of the breeders. That's what they are breeded, the variety like that. You can see the number of varieties in the market, and rewards will be given as the plant variety right as given to a breeder. That's what the PBR is get more important. A person holding a PBR title or to variety can authorize other interested organizations to produce and sell the propagating material of that variety. See, plant breeder right, if one company is suspended you or dismissing you, you can take your variety and go to new company and give it to them. They will give the honor for it. That right was given to a plant breeder. That's what once you develop a variety, that is your property. That's what companies are purchasing a breeder. And these law grant the plant breeder to control of the propagating material and harvested material of a new variety for a number of years. Yes, given for many years of this is the right as given to the plant breeder. And this I will run the slides for 5 minutes. My time is another 10 minutes is there. Let me complete. These types of patent application in India. We have a different kinds of application. Ordinary application, convention application, PCT international application, PCT national phase application, divisional application, application for patent of addition. These are all the different kind of applications in India. We have for different countries, we have different kind of applications. And we have one applications, I can show you that where we can do even international patent also. So these are all the important patent applications. See, first application for the ordinary application. This application for patent filed in the patent office without claiming the priority. Without claiming the priority, you cannot claim the priority because there are already applications are in line, like your visa or any other. The same way the patent will also follow. You have to wait. We have to wait in a queue so that there is no priority from any application or without any reference to any other application under process in the patent office is called the ordinary application. The second application is the PCT Patent Cooperation Treaty. This Patent Cooperation Treaty or PCT is an international agreement. It is an international agreement for filing patent application. If you want to file application, you have to put a PCT Cooperation Treaty. That's a different kind of application. And however, there is nothing called as a world patent. We don't have such kind of world. We have to go for Patent Cooperation Treaty application. So that means that application shows that it is an international agreement application. So this is the certificate as given for the international. You have to get this application, give your details, and if you want to make it as an international, and you see that you have to submit the application. That application will be processed in the patent office. The second is the conventional application. What is this conventional application? When an applicant files the application for a patent, claiming a priority date based on the same or substantially similar application filed in one or more of the convention countries, it is called as conventional application. In order to get convention status, an applicant should file the application in the Indian Patent Office within 12 months from the date of first filing of a similar application in the convention country. The priority document or the section 138(1) and its verified English translation, if required, section 138 of 2 also should be submitted by the applicant. A convention application shall be accompanied by a complete specification. I told that in the patent specification is important. In this application, if you want to make this conventional application, you have to submit the complete specification of your application, what you are going to patent really. So this is divisional application. What is this divisional application? When the application made by an applicant claims more than one invention. When an applicant claims more than one application, one invention, the applicant on his own request or to meet the official objection raised by the controller may divide the application and file 2 or more applications as applicable for each of the invention. This type of application is divided out of the parent one and is termed as divisional application. If you are having a 2-3 patents with you, 2-3 inventions with you, you can file together and they will, based on your a claim, they will divide the application, is called as a divisional application. Then patent of addition. This, if you are already submitted application, you feel that you come across, if you want to add something, there is a provision. You have to file the application is addition of patent. So that they will incorporate before processing the application. You have to submit, already you are applied, and this applicant can go for patent addition since your invention does not involve substantial inventive step. So this step, your paper is not moved for the consideration. At that time, your addition is going to be included in your main application is called the patent of addition. Provisional specification application. So when the applicant finds that the invention has reached a presentable form, but not the final shape, he may prepare a disclosure of the invention in the form of written description and submit it to the patent office as a provisional specification. Which describes the invention is called a provisional specification application. We have to prepare for disclosure of the invention in the form of written description and submit to patent office. So this is the complete specification. After submitting the provisional application, the applicant will get 12 months time. They will give the 12 months time of your preliminary application, fully develop the invention and ascertain its market potential. You ascertain with potential market without the fear of losing the priority right over the invention. Immediately on receiving the provisional specification, the patent office accords the filing date for the application and provides a period up to the 12 months for filing the complete specification. This is called the complete specification application. After that, you cannot change anything. This will process for patent is called the complete specification application. National phase application under PCT. This PCT national phase must follow the international phase. The applicant must individually enter into the national phase, that is, file a national phase application. In each country he wishes to enter, the applicant can enter the national phase in up to 138 countries within 30 to 31 months, depend on the law of the designated countries from the international filing date or priority date, whichever is earlier. If the applicant does not enter the national phase within the prescribed limit time, the international application loses its effect and its designated of elected states, it loses the value of the application if you are not giving to the prescribed time. That is called the national phase of application under PCT. This is the Patent Act and Rule that I told many times, I repeated. In India, patent rights are governed by the Patent Act 1970. It presents third amendment of Act known as the Patent Amendment Act in 2005 is in force now. 2005, after that the Patent Act has not been amended. For application of Patent Act, rules are made by the government, which are known as the Patent Rules 2003. As of now, Patent Amendment Rule 2006 and further updated in September 2015 are in force. For better understanding of Act and rules, Draft Manual of Patent Practice and Procedure MPPP 2008 is made by the Patent Office. If you want any acts and rules, you will get in the Draft Manual of Patent Practice. There are 4 patent offices in India having work distribution according to their geographical location in Calcutta, Delhi, Mumbai, and Chennai. This is the organization of a structure. Patent. This is Ministry of Commerce and Industry coming under Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, Controller General Patents, Design and Trademarks. The Patent Design Office are in Calcutta, Delhi, Mumbai, and Chennai. Trademark Register is Mumbai, Calcutta, Delhi, Chennai, and Ahmedabad. And Geographical Indication Registry is only in Chennai. And Patent Information System is RJNIMP and Nagpur. So this is the structure of organization where we can attempt and where we can go for our registration of the product developed technology. And this is the validity. Validity is for patents, they will give 20 years. Every year is mandatory of renewal. And ACT rules are the Patent Act in 1970 amended in 2005 for patents. For trademarks, lifelong. Once you are having a trademark, it is lifelong, you cannot change. After 10 years, you can change if you want. The Trademark Act in 1990 amended in 2010. It designs, they will give the maximum protection of 15 years. 15 years, after 10 years of next 5 years, the Design Act is 2002 designate amendment in 2014. Copyright is a 60 years. I told in the graph also, copyright will give the 60 years, not require renewal. And Copyright Act in 1957 amended in 2012. And geographical indications, I told some of the important products of geographical indication, lifelong. After 10 years, if you want renewal, renewal it. The Geographical Indications Goods Registration Protection Act in 1999. Patents will cease and to be transferred to public domain If patents are not renewed within 6 months of a period, the concerned year by the paying renewal fee. So there is a procedure for set up rules for the patents. This is I wanted to explain for you. The conclusion is that intellectual property protection, including patents, are government issued rights to the inventors. It is absolutely government right. We have nothing in our hand. You cannot impose even a 1% in your intellectual property right. This intellectual property protection, only the government issued right to the inventor or a creator. Rights include right to the shoe printers. Patents are only as good as the legal fees you have to back them up. Patents are commercial assets and business tools. Patents are commercial assets and the business. I told. Once you are patented technology, your research is over. Your science is over. You are given the minute you are submitted the specification for patent, and it is become business of commercial. And it is become business. Any technology. Any technology. So that is afterwards there is no invention, there is no research. It's completely commercial and the business. That companies can use to raise investment. Companies can invest on that. Companies are investing. You know that one technology, if you go whether it's a loss or users are taking or not, company is going to establish an industry and they have to spend their money and protect products and technology and can be tool to legislate against the competitors. Immediately the competitors will there in the market for each and every. Today you see the car business especially. You are seeing in the market what is the competition between the car companies. People are rushing because of your corona. Public transportation, people are not happy. They wanted to buy a car, everybody. The car business is become complete business and commercial today. Competition between the car companies. So that is, they are going to compete with the competitors. So even your televisions, your all industrial designs. So this is all competition. So my dear colleagues, this is a very important topic. One should know. One should know. We are the inventors. Researchers are inventors. Researchers are creators. So what is the next procedure for our creation? One should know. What is the impact is there? One should get a reward. One should get a royalty for his invention. One should get a royalty for his invention. One should reward the invention. And his invention must be useful to the society. And you have to transfer the technology. Let people use. Let people use. It will increase the human life. It will increase your human kind of life, your sophisticated life. Just imagine, my dear colleagues, you are born in which year? I don't know. I was born in 1959. I have seen the world. I have seen the globe. I have seen the country. The developments, what we have seen from last six decades, what I seen. Last 60 years, the developments of all kind of human life is increased. We are enjoying our life in all aspects. In all aspects, we are enjoying our life. Your aircraft travel is itself is you are enjoying your life. That means that is called the technology. That is behind this, our enjoyable life, the technology behind. That technologies made us very comfortable life. We are leading comfortable life with all kind of aspects. This has to be disseminated, and this you disseminate to your students. That everybody should understand what is the importance of technology and what is the importance of legality, what is the legislation role, how India is working, what are the other organizations are working for the intellectual property right, how it is going to become your property right of your invention. One should know all these things. With these things, I would like to thank all of you for patient listening. I have not taken any science for my presentation. Everywhere, wherever I go, I wanted to make sure that this one should know, because we have done a lot of science now. That science has to be gone to the society. Society is very important for us, and we are accountable for our inventions. We have spent money of publics for our research. That research, whatever money we have spent, that is go to the society, beneficiary should be society. In my opinion, the technology has to go society. So thank you one and all. Thank you very much for patience.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You are all, because you are all serving in very good now. The NEP is coming to you. And NAP, I told I was in the committee of that curriculum development. And that in that curriculum development, I added this as a major part. IPR, I added as a major part, IPR and related issue and other things. And you see that here afterwards, you have to concentrate on that. Thank you once again. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Anybody would like to ask the questions? Dear participants?
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Sir,
As natural products cannot be patented, but the process of isolating the natural products can be patented.
Yes, that I told, process can be patented for any. But a product and patent can be, product and process can be patented. Organism cannot be patented. For example, you are taking a substance from the neem plant. Substance can be patented. Chemical can be patented. Neem plant cannot be patented.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, I have one question.
Please.
Is there any funding agency available for providing financial assistance for filing patents, sir?
See, earlier there was a program of departmental program like DSA, UGC, SAP, DBT, HRD. They are allocated 5 lakh money for the universities. Colleges, I don't think. Now you can accommodate in your RUSA grant, and RUSA grant can provide some money for patent.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Hello, sir.